Welcome to the Art of Procurement, the official podcast of the Catalyst Co-community. And our purpose is to enhance the impact of procurement by elevating the discussion one conversation at a time. Here at Art of Procurement, Catalysts come together every single week to share their challenges, ideas, successes, and perspectives on the business of procurement. Hi there, I'm Philip Eitzen, and thank you for tuning in to the Art of Procurement today. If you're a regular listener, you'll know that we typically publish an interview every Monday. But this month, we're celebrating Take Action October. So for October only, we're publishing a 5-minute daily micropod to help you take action to elevate the influence and the impact of both yourself and your team. If you're joining us midway through this series, listen to episode 204. That will give you more details on Take Action October and the daily 5-minute podcast. I also explain the concept of a vehicle in that episode, which in my experience is the single most important factor that determines your ability to translate learnings into action. In today's Take Action podcast, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different and take inspiration from an article. So as you may know, we curate the best writing that's relevant to the procurement professional every single week for our weekly newsletter, This Week in Procurement. And this is an article that we came across during that curation process. In their article, A Procurement Imperative for the CPO, Hugo Evans and Stephen Easton made the case for the value that procurement can bring, something that I know is preaching to the choir here, but there was a particular passage about it that stood out to me. So let me quote. In that respect, savings are usually the prime currency that procurement uses to measure its contribution to the bottom line. Many CEOs often rightly distrust claims about savings and of course want to enhance profits. They also intuitively understand that measuring savings is not an exact science. CPOs then spend much of their energy discussing savings that do not always affect the bottom line and they cannot fully control anyway. Then, they lack the authority needed to control the end-to-end processes to do their job effectively, including procure-to-pay processes to lock in savings. This includes offering an effective service to users and overall orchestration of the supplier relationship management to ensure that the commercial perspective is considered in all supplier interactions. Instead, they end up conceding authority for these processes, often implicitly, to other CXOs who have different objectives. The article continues. The processes that CPOs do control then often become administrative tasks that slow users down rather than creating value with better specifications, more suitable supplier choices, and fit-for-purpose commercial terms. By pursuing this course, CPOs can create undue drama that makes them look bad to the CEO and the C-suite. The key business objective of delivering innovation from the supply base and managing risk then gets overlooked and are not tackled systematically. There is even a tendency to assume that other functions will launch the capabilities that procurement needs. For example, one global CPO told us it was not his job to build an analytics capability. In another organization, finance controlled the process of giving spend information to procurement, rationing it and adorning it with accounting policy-related add-ons that clouded transparency into what had been spent, when, and with whom. And then the article wraps up, it's easy to see why many CEOs think procurement is only about making deals and haggling with suppliers with a limited focus on translating supply market value into product value. Many question procurement's claims about its value and get frustrated that they lack a yardstick to measure the results of their procurement compared with their competitors. And so you can find the link to the full article in today's show notes. But the action item that I really wanted to bring this back down to today, and that I want to challenge you on, is this. How can you change the conversation with your stakeholders so that the conversation doesn't revolve around savings? Savings, they're not going to go away, we know that. But start talking about the non-savings value you're driving and that are important to your stakeholders' objectives, the identification of which is what we talked about in yesterday's podcast. Doing this consistently every single day will help your senior leaders understand your value contribution over and above savings. Thanks for joining me for this special Take Action October podcast from the Art of Procurement. You can check out today's question by going to artofprocurement.com/takeaction2018. If the idea of taking small actions on a regular basis is something that resonates with you, I'd love for you to check out the details of our Procurement Capability Development Program, the Catalysco platform. The Catalysco platform translates dots into lines, so taking individual pieces of learning, insight, validation, and inspiration and connecting them to coordinated strategies and actions, that's really important, that elevate your influence and your impact. The Catalysco platform helps procurement professionals all around the world become truly trusted advisors. So if that's something that you would like to check out, visit artofprocurement.com/TCP. That's artofprocurement.com/TCP. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another Take Action October daily podcast.